Hmm. All right. All right. Good evening and welcome to Real Talk 100. My name is Joyce Spencer Mintz, and I want to thank you all for taking the time out to join us tonight in our studio as we come to you with live conversation and hoping that a word said or a prayer prayed or advice given that it helps you not only to do better, to be better, but do better. We always give the disclaimer you have the right to agree or disagree with anything that we say here tonight, and we're still going to love you. So, with that being said, I got some co hosts tonight, and I'm really glad they're here. Hey, to my, I want to say my right, but I guess over to the corner, we have Smooth Mr. Armand in the house tonight. You want to give a little welcome shout out to our people tonight?
I just want to say thank you for having me on here once again. This is my second time on here. I definitely enjoyed the last time. And, hopefully we can have a good conversation today. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right. And then on the bottom, we have my other co host tonight, and that is Miss Cat. Miss Cat, say hello to the people.
Hey everybody, how are you all doing? Glad to be on here. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell y'all, we missing one of our co hosts, and for a good reason, one of our additional hosts to the show. And we're glad that he's missing because he actually got employment. So we are really grateful. We always want to be happy when somebody has managed to make to level up in life, a good step, a great change. And so I'm really happy for our other host, Melly Mel. He hopefully will be joining us once he gets his scheduling together. Don't worry, ladies, he'll be back. Okay. So again, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I kind of wanted to do a free fall tonight. I didn't send out a topic. I wanted to know what was on your hearts tonight. So, open dialogue. And Kathy, I know you have been so busy. Y'all forgive me. I live by the fire department. I know you've been really busy, so I'm hoping that you have a topic tonight you'd like to discuss.
Gratitude.
Awesome.
Yeah. I I've learned the importance of being grateful. Uh, Even when life shows up and it's a rough event, adventure, road, whatever journey, I'm still grateful for the tough times because when I look around and see what I got, I really have nothing to complain about, no matter what I'm going through. My gratitude is just thank you, God. Thank you. I'm grateful. I tell God a lot of times, I'm so grateful that you think that highly of me. Because, He said in His word, He would not allow me what I'm able to handle. So I'd be like, I really am grateful you think that highly of me, that you putting all. I don't know.
Amen.
I don't know if y'all can relate, but I sure can. So I want to hear something about gratitude, being grateful.
Amen. So Armand,
Yes, ma'am.
the conversation starting off with gratitude tonight.
Well, I guess to be frank, when I hear the word gratitude, I don't know, like I'm gonna still call her Mama Kathy. Like Mama Kathy said, being like showing gratitude and being grateful for what you have is very, very important. Especially for me at a young age because I tend sometimes to struggle with looking around and seeing everything that's going on around me and not really being truly grateful for what I have right here in front of me and the direction that I'm going. You know, Um, I've always, well, not always, but sometimes I'll be looking like at my peers and people around my age and see like sometimes I feel like they're farther ahead than I should be. But then again, it could be said the same thing for someone else that might not be in the position that I'm in. So even though I may have those thoughts of, like I feel like I'm not doing enough or I'm not where I should be, and I feel those moments where I'm starting to be ungrateful, I then think about it the other way around. Like, I could be in a very, very worse predicament, or I can be in a worse situation. Not saying that my situation is bad, but you know how they always say you think you have it bad, someone always has it worse. I always think about that, and I'm very, very grateful to be where I am today. And that's something that I'm learning. I'm starting to get better with, but I'm also trying to make sure I get better with that every single day. And I am grateful for where I am today. I feel like I've come a very long way.
Amen. Amen. Well, I'm going to say I am so grateful. And gratitude is definitely important because for me in my life in this stage, every day is a day of gratitude for me. And as both of you have shared, sometimes we don't always um, look around and remind ourselves to say, Lord, I'm grateful. And Lord, thank you. I have gratitude. I thank you for blessing me. I thank you for waking me up. I thank you for life, health, strength. I thank you for watching over my children. I'm so grateful for so many things. I probably could never stop saying, God, I'm grateful, or giving gratitude. And even to people in our lives, it's even important when you have people that support you in what you do, that you come back and you show that you are grateful and that you have a spirit of gratitude for what they've done and not feel so entitled about it. And I'm learning more and more every day to remain more humble, step back when I want to get all the way up in something that I shouldn't be, and just check it and just ask God to keep me in that spirit of gratitude and gratefulness, because things could be so different. And so I'm just so grateful and blessed and thanking God. Y'all just opened up a whole can of worms, Lord. So I really do. I think that's awesome, Kathy, that you started off with that tonight, of gratitude, the word gratitude. Um, and so I want to say too, even to our viewers, make you a list. And sometimes just get up in the morning and don't get up with a spirit of negativity. Get up and say, Lord, I'm grateful. Before your feet hit the floor, because a lot of people feet don't even hit the floor. So
Amen.
just be grateful that you opened your eyes. And so, mm. Well, okay, y'all too. All right, Amon, we need a word from you.
um, Let me think. Um,
Hmm.
I guess an
Wow.
undertone of what I was saying with grateful, like being grateful and things like that. I guess an undertone word that I can think of would be like perseverance, because that's also something that I've learned as well. Um, it's been something like, you know, persevering through things, hardships in life, sometimes things don't always work out how you would want it to. But then again, on the other side of the spectrum, you have to realize that, sometimes things don't work out for an exact reason. And whether you understand what that reasoning is or what it isn't, doesn't nullify the reasoning to begin with, of why it didn't work out. But with that being said, just because it doesn't work out for you doesn't mean you shouldn't be discouraged or stop trying doing what you've been trying to do. You just got to learn how to persevere. You got to learn how to, sometimes you got to take it on the chin, keep your head up and be grateful that you have another chance to do it again. And not only another chance to do it again, but, maybe do it better than you did the first time. And I feel like perseverance is something that's very overlooked because, at least from my perspective with my peer group, um,
Hmm.
things are normally expected to be handed to you, like everybody's kind of looking for a handout. And that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't always work out like that. Sometimes you have to sit there and you have to really recognize that people do get handouts, but it's very rare. And just because someone gets a handout doesn't mean that you deserve the same handout. Life isn't fair per se, but that doesn't mean that the cards are always stacked against you. Sometimes you have to learn how to look at the cards that you have in your hands. And yeah, you may look like you don't have a good hand, but you got to learn how to turn that bad hand into your best hand. And that comes with trial and error. And without trial and error, you'll never learn perseverance. So yeah, my word's gonna be perseverance for today.
All right. I like that. I like that. Catherine, still there?
I'm just amazed at Armand, the way, the knowledge that he has and the way that he's speaking to be such a young man is. Now I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, y'all know. Take a
Yeah,
village.
yeah. But perseverance. I a lot of times don't want to push my way through. I
Hmm.
want, like Armand said, I want it given to me. I really do sometimes. I don't want to work for it, but that's me lying to myself. Anything that I want, I'm gonna have to persevere through it. Um, push like that reminded me when I was going through this funeral home director apprenticeship. It seemed
Hmm.
like it was not. It really did. It was so
Kathy, is
trying.
your screen keep jumping out? I'm sorry. Go
Uh-uh.
ahead.
I
Okay,
just
then it's not you. Keep going.
I had to push my way through. I paid for it,
Hmm.
and I still had to wait to get the approval. And I'm like, Lord, what in the world? Well, maybe this ain't what you want me to do. And no, anything worth having, I must go through something. Uh,
Absolutely.
right. So that when I do receive it, I will be grateful that I received it, and I will be able to go through it all the way to the end. Because if it was given to me on a silver platter, I wouldn't appreciate it. I would take advantage of it. But perseverance, man, that's a hard, and it takes a lot of dedication through the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs.
Okay,
And
something's going on here in our
yeah,
studio. We keep getting may have to have you check that out. Okay. So my sound went somewhere. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
yeah,
Okay, absolutely. Okay. I don't know what was going on with that. It's like maybe it's from you. We keep getting guest notifications, and I can't let anyone else in. I don't know why not. It's doing that tonight. But for the audience, bear with us. Yeah, we thank you. So perseverance. And Kathy, I was listening to what you were saying. About when you don't want to press your way through, and like Zaman said, you don't want to give it to you. So you got to do some. You got to do. There's got to be action from you, um, and so being so grateful for um, that knowledge that he just shared, with us about his word perseverance. I would say for me, um, yeah, it is sometimes difficult because when you have to push your way through something, it is not comfortable all the time. And often we do want the easy route. But sometimes that long route gets us to the end game, you know, when we know when the word said we press toward the mark for the high calling, for the prize. Um, it's that pressing forward that and the lessons that you learn through the pressing
Mm-hmm.
that helps you. It helps you a lot. It helps you to grow. For me, because I'm going to say for me, um, my growth came through having to push my way through things and not getting them just handed to me. And those lessons have been some of the greatest ones, and I cherish and keep them now. So I want to say that that word is a great word, Armand, that you chose. I'm going to choose my word tonight, diligence. And I use that word because I think about in the scripture when the Bible says, "Those who diligently seek after me." You know, um, it's the same with things in life. Writing a plan and diligently seeking after that, making sure that when you say you want something, that you really know what it is and that you really are making whatever sacrifices you have to get there or to obtain that, so that things are not and then I guess we kind of right back to the other two words, grateful and perseverance. So
Mm-hmm.
diligent. So Amai, you want to say something about that word diligent?
I mean, as far as what diligence, like, I guess what it means to me, like how
Mm-hmm.
I see diligence, um, diligence is a necessity for one, I guess, going back to my word being, showing perseverance, because
Mm-hmm.
without diligence, like, let's say, for example, you pray for, God to move something in your life or do something for you, something that you may have been asking for a long time. Um, you know, Praying for it is all fine and dandy, but with diligence, part of that is, seeking after it and, doing what you're supposed to do and also having faith of what you asked for to be done. And like they always say, if you pray, you can pray for it all you want, but if you don't put the work in, if you don't believe that God heard you, 9 times out of 10, it's probably not going to happen. And that's a harsh reality, but it's all about, we can ask for stuff all day. Like, I can ask
Mm-hmm.
for 100 things off the top of my head right now. I may get some
Mm-hmm.
of that stuff, but maybe the more important things that I know would require more work. If I don't put that work in to go get it, then I'll never get it. So being diligent, um, you have to make sure that you're locked in and you understand the extremities of what you're exactly asking for, because a lot of people, they'll ask for stuff and not realize all the other stuff that is attached on to it. And sometimes people will get what they asked for and they weren't prepared for everything else that came with it. So, part of that being diligent, when you ask for stuff, not only do you have to work for it and be prepared for what you asked for, but you also have to keep the faith and knowing what you asked for will be supplied.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Kat, what do you have to say on that? What's your take on that?
Man,
He deep.
deep.
Yes. He
Diligence,
does. He go deep.
yeah, really does. For me, diligence is me staying focused
Mm-hmm.
on to accomplish, because there are so many peripheral things that'll come my way, and if I take my eyes off of my goal, then I lose that diligence of going after what I feel is in my heart that I want to do. Because God said He'll give me the desires of my heart. But I
Mm-hmm.
have to be diligent in doing the right thing for the right reasons. I can't expect God to answer my prayer if I got all of this other stuff that's going against His will? He loves me, but He's not going to, and I believe this, He is not going to allow me to have anything that He knows is going to or set me back or anything like that. So I have to be diligent in keeping my eyes, as they say, on the prize, no matter the road that it takes for me to get there. Because anything worth having is not always easy to get, and I
Mhm.
have to be willing to go through whatever it is I need to go through. Because when I say that, I think about how diligent I was about finding that next one when I was out there using. I was diligent.
Mm-hmm.
I did some hard
Yeah.
work
Mm-hmm.
to get that next one. That was really killing me.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have the same energy in doing the right thing, no matter what I have to go through. That's it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, all three of those tied in right together. And I want to say, right now, even with one of our co-hosts, one of our hosts that were on the show, when we talked about seeking after stuff, that was one of those things that we were having conversations about. Um, even to him when how long he was saying he was seeking employment, and thank God he has obtained it. And I'm just truly I am truly a believer in when you speak something and you see that it is your destiny, that you continue to move forward to that. Um, and everybody may not understand. I'm gonna because see, y'all know I just jumped over somewhere. Okay, so you all know we're getting ready to do this community event next week, right? And the Lord had really pressed upon my heart stuff, show me the way things should look. I've had visions of this event, and it was interesting because we went to distribute some flyers in the neighborhood, and
Mhm.
all the way on the way over there, my husband was like, "Well, I'm just gonna say this then. I know, baby, that your heart in it, but I don't really never see no kids over there where we go to church in." And I was like, "Honey, believe me, they gotta bring the people who need to come. People who need to be there need the help. They'll show up." And it was so interesting because that morning, a friend and I were juicing, and we were talking about, having faith and not wavering. And on the way, I kept thinking to myself, um, "Oh man, he's got a little doubt in what I'm telling him that God is saying to me." But I can't go that way. I can't stop. I can't doubt it. If I know in my heart of hearts that this is what I'm hearing in my spirit, I need to move forward. And how about when we got to the church? He always gets out of the car to open the door. We were going down there to drop off some stuff, do some stuff. So he always coming around to my side of the car to open the door. And as soon as he opened the door, all you could hear was children.
Thank God, good.
and and he said, "I ain't never heard that when we come." And we go, we go to service on Sunday mornings, and we down there through the week, doing a little this or that. And he was like, "I ain't never heard kids over here." And just that moment, the Lord really just put that whole sound in the atmosphere. All you could hear was kids playing. So I just started smiling within myself and saying, "Thank you, God." And so I just got, it was just a spirit of not only gratitude, um, but also, just really being thankful, because God always shows up. He shows up. I just got to
Amen.
be obedient. And so we'll tell y'all, one of y'all take it, because y'all know I get all overwhelmed.
Yeah,
And I
I
want to
was
say
just
hello, Precious. Good evening.
I was just gonna say,
Go ahead.
with you saying that, it just went full circle once again. Not only, you showed you were grateful at the end of the day, but, you know, let what you had heard from Mr. Jerry, if you would have let that like deter your whole wave of how you were moving, you probably would have missed out on that. But no, you decided to stick to your plan, stay diligent, even though you were hearing these doubts from the outside. You chose to stay diligent, and that just goes to show, like, whenever you're working towards something, or you're trying to get to a certain place, or you have a certain goal, you have to stay diligent. And since you were diligent, the Lord, prepared a table right there before you. Here's the children that you were looking for. And it all just came together. And I thought that was actually, pretty funny how that story literally brought all of those points that we were just talking about full circle. I think it's amazing.
Absolutely. So, Kat, you got something you want to say?
No,
Well, I know you have been busy in the work field, and I know that I've been really, really enjoying having a younger mind in this group, because it is what we really do need, and a male aspect. That is always so wonderful to have both sides and opinions of anything that we do in here, because we don't want to be unequally yoked. And we got some comments, so I'm kind of trying to monitor those as we go. Okay. Um, but I'm really, really, really grateful tonight, and I want to remind people that Bags of Goodies are having their event tomorrow in Clayton. So if you can go out and support them, please do. Being a grandparent, you can look them up on Facebook and find out about their event. It's a celebration for a milestone in their organization. And even though I can't be there, I'm gonna be supporting y'all over here. Okay. But so anybody who gets an opportunity, go on over there and support them. Because they're doing great things in the community and helping grandparents with information and other things that you may need. Just as we're trying down here, my daughter's house incorporated. And I always have to go ahead and put the incorp on it, because now people just think I'm talking about my daughter's house. But our resource for recovery. Okay. And so we have to put that on there, because they be like, "Well, you coming over your daughter's house?" So August the 12th, we would definitely be sponsoring all those things that we have been asking donations for, back to school supplies, personal items, and there's going to be some food, fun, music, and some clothing. And we're not doing a whole lot, but I couldn't stop something. We'll talk about that later. um, but please do come on down, support, have a good time, and if you have a need, maybe there's something there that will help you along your way. So we'll see y'all at New Unity Missionary Baptist Church, 2946 Ivy Avenue, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, 27106. And my daughter's house information, is on Facebook, so you can always look that up as well. And we're on YouTube and someplace else. Anyway, so now we have come full circle of our 3 words tonight. But I want to know hot topics. Any hot topics tonight, guys? Because y'all know one topic been going on. We try to stay clear of the politics, but however, I did see something today that was it was a little shaken. Okay. And that was when they were talking about the Mississippi Six. Have you guys heard about that?
I'm gonna say no, but if you would like to educate me on what exactly the Mississippi Six is, I would greatly appreciate that.
So today they announced that 6 officers in Mississippi pleaded guilty to assaulting, uh, raping, um, verbally and physically abusing two black men.
Torturing too.
Wow.
Yeah, let's not forget the torturing. So they pleaded guilty today to that charge. What saddens me is that even today in this age, and I guess that's why we always talk about educating our young men when they go out now, the do's and don'ts. Um, because these guys were in their homes when this happened. And I think the accusation was sleeping with women, with Caucasian women.
Wow.
And so they decided that they were going to, guess, teach them a lesson. But I don't even know if I can even say teach a lesson. I think it took racism back, um, for some that know how hard Mississippi had to fight to become unsegregated and cast down racism and discrimination. That it kind of it took some things back for people, I'm
Hmm.
sure. So come on in. Who want to go first if they want to say something about that?
Um, I I guess I'll take the lead. After you just broke down everything that has been transpiring with I guess the Mississippi Six. Um, that's terrible to say the least. I don't know. I just feel like you know in in this day and age, like racism and discrimination, pretty much the whole rundown is still very prevalent in our
Mm-hmm,
society. It may not be as loud and in your face as it was before, but it definitely does still exist. And I feel like
mm-hmm,
sometimes that can be overlooked by the general public. Um, because I guess to some other, I get well, not some other, I guess to other races, when we bring up these issues and things along those lines, it almost seems as if I guess we're quote unquote whining, for the lack of a better word. Um,
mm-hmm,
and I guess to them, they feel like, well, we've already given you this, that, and the third, like what else could you guys be like necessarily like, I guess, trying to fight for? And it's not necessarily like what we're trying to fight for. It's just the common decency of, you know, knowing that when we go out with the skin color we are, that we are at least safe. And it's like, safety these days is almost too much to ask for. Um, and even like I guess to spin off of what you're talking about with the Mississippi Six, like even
mm-hmm.
growing up, like playing like even it's so bad, even with games online, um, like it's just so much
So do
like
you run into that? Can I ask you, do you have you ran into that kind of problem even gaming online?
absolutely. I wouldn't say I ran into it as much as recently, but
Mm-hmm,
um, I would say when I would say like my teenage years, maybe even early preteen, playing games like Call of Duty online, especially Call of Duty. I would say,
mm-hmm,
well, I will say this first. As far as the gaming community goes, like racism isn't that big of a thing, but the way Call of Duty is, it's such a toxic community, and like a lot of the nostalgia from the older games that people my age and even older know and love, like the Modern Warfare 2s, like this is like 2009 to like 2013, like that community was very, very prevalent and being racist on voice chats. Like it was a normal thing, and it's so normal to the point now where like literally, if I was to be out and about and I had somebody call me the ER, like the hard R, it wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
bother me because I'm so used to hearing it. It doesn't bother me. Like I'm almost insulted that you couldn't come up with something better than that because it's dated to me. So like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just like the wiring of me playing games online, being on voice chat, whether they know that you're black or not. Like they don't even have to know that you're black. Like it will literally be like dead silent and someone will say something that's racist and it
Mm-hmm.
just snowballs from there. And that's just how that community grew up. I will say though, in recent times, as far as the newer games, um,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give credit where it's due with the studios that's responsible for the games. They have been more strict on what you can and can't say. They also have, of course, as a corporation, have come out saying that they don't stand for racism, and anybody that's reported doing it, or they will be either their account will be banned or terminated, things along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say like it's moving in a more positive direction, but as far as that goes with me growing up and hearing all of this stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
it definitely showed me whether I needed to see it face to face or hear it electronically over a microphone that racism still very much exists. And it's almost as if we're the butt end of a joke, which I'm all for like dark humor, no pun intended. I'm all for dark humor and things like that, but like there's a line, and sometimes that line is crossed. And I feel like with where we are today and how much stuff we had to fight for and how far we come, I feel like at least the common decency relating back to Mississippi Six is at least we can have the decency of knowing we can go outside and be 100% safe. And that's all I got to say
Absolutely.
about that.
Awesome. Awesome. I really like I like the value in your share, and I like the way you versed it. Very intellectually. So I really like that. Catherine, you got something you want to say on that?
Um, it's just a shame. This stuff has been going on for years. So I just have to shake my head and, when is it going to end? What is it going to take to end the war that we're having with each other? Not the wars that we're having overseas and in foreign countries, but the wars that we're having right here. You know, I don't get it, but like the way those officers did those two black guys, that didn't make no sense at all. And they were in their own home and they broke in the house. From what I understood, it was one of the guys was staying with this white woman, and the other guy was staying there temporarily. And the police just took it on themselves to bombard and do all that stuff. Shot one of the guys in the jaw. You know,
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. What is it gonna take? I don't know. It's
Well, I say this too, because even when you were just talking about that, um, yeah, and I think they did disclose do segments or reports that their reasoning was they were sleeping with women of Caucasian women, um, and the reason for them breaking in. Um, but then that takes me back to um, children that are already born into relationships like that. And so I want to say that it saddens me that, like you said, that this thing has gone on, but even more so, um, that in this day and age, that it becomes such an unacceptable thing for um, uh, mixed relationships, because we already know that, even down the line from beginning of time, and I guess that's the history lesson of it all, where um, even when our ancestors and were slaves, that they were having babies for the masters, and um, they were commingling back then. So that, for them to use that as their reasoning, I found that really, you know, horrible, because at this day and age, when you see so many mixed relationships, and so anyway, um, I'm grateful to the justice system, and I have confidence that all the process and procedure that's gone and that has gone on, that now Mississippi can get back to healing, because it took them a long time to get to where they are today. And when something like that happens, it sets your state or your country back. It sets you back a page, and we want to keep moving forward. Look, all our words just came into play again: gratitude, perseverance, and diligence. So that people will be able to move forward from what has happened there, and that the great city of Mississippi will continue to grow, and in mind and spirit. So I'm praying for all involved, and I'm grateful that someone had a listening ear to the young men who were injured by this, and that they were able to seek justice in a great way. It just gives leverage to show that our justice system is working. Now, we'll stand back and see nationally what's going on. We won't say the names yet, but we really know that that stuff is going on. We're going to see how the wheels of justice turns on this situation up and coming. We'll be talking about that next week, maybe. Okay, guys. So just grateful. Um, so anything else y'all want to talk about tonight? I said tonight I was just going to do a free fall, and we would bring up different subjects. So, is there another subject on your heart tonight, Catherine?
You don't want
Ooh.
to know my heart.
Come on, come on, come on. This is real talk. It really is. It's real talk.
That Donald Trump, how is he getting
She
away?
said the word on my show, y'all.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to say oh.
She said the word, y'all.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't know I was.
Some person who shall be nameless.
Yeah, okay. I take it back, y'all. I don't want to talk about it.
But I am gonna say, also, Armand, you got some subject you'd like to talk about right now?
Let me think. Let me look deep in the crevices of my heart.
Yes, go down in there, because I know there's something down there that you need to bring out tonight.
Well, I will say this. I was thinking earlier today. Um, I was thinking earlier today, just like about my life and a span of the 23 years that I have been here. I'm grateful for that. I don't know. I'm just randomly thinking at work today because I've noticed, like, growing up, and this isn't like something that I noticed just now. It's like something that I've always noticed, and I always just come back to myself and have an internal monologue about it. I've always noticed that, like, I just seem to, I don't know, I just seem to attract people. Like, I guess I have the spirit of a leader. Um, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm actually very grateful for that. I guess simply because, well, really, when I look into it, I just think about how, like, I have this effect on so many people, whether it's real life, whether it's me streaming, YouTube, TikTok, just all these things all together. I just realized like how many people I'm able to draw in and how many people actually like take what I have to say into consideration, and like they look at me and they want to know like how like why am I the way I am, and not in a bad way. Like everybody that I talk to, they're always like, you always stay so composed, or you're always so well mannered and things along those lines. And they always just ask me like, why am I like this? And of course, I use the opportunity to introduce them to the gospel and, try to see, get them to start that transition if they are interested. I don't ever want to push it on anybody, but it's never a bad thing to ask. But, I just think about that all the time. And, I'm also very grateful because I remember at one time, um, going back to how they say I'm very level headed, I remember at one time growing up, like I was very much of a hothead. I was very, very all over the place, this, that, and the third. Um, but I guess everything happens for a reason because without that, like without me like flying off the wall at everything, reacting to everything that was happening around me being younger, I guess I would have never necessarily burnt myself out because I'm to the point now where like some very ill will things can happen and I won't even bat an eye. And it's not like I don't care. It's just I simply don't have the energy to necessarily react to what's going on or necessarily get mad. Like I can't tell you the last time I've been mad. And God be the glory, I don't want to be mad. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I simply am incapable of being mad. And I just look and I think like, okay, I remember I used to get mad at everything, and I remember I used to like have a response to everything, but now it's like I've learned and it's also been programmed into me to like not everything deserves a reaction. So I'm very grateful for that because I have people around me who are kind of hotheads, they kind of react to things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they shouldn't. And I feel like without me going through that stage earlier in my life, like I would be right there with them. But now I see that's probably happened for a reason because now I'm more of the voice of reason. Like I have no problem, um, whether it's with my friends, like they can feel some way about something, but they'll always come to me and ask, what do I think about it? And I'm like, if they're wrong, I'd let them know that they're wrong. And I respect them for asking me and looking for my insight because I try to keep it real with everybody. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're my friend or not, like if I feel like you're in the wrong, then I'm gonna tell you that you're in the wrong, and that's just how it goes. But I do appreciate my friends being there and being able to um see like I guess the growth that I've had from within, controlling my emotions and things
Mm-hmm.
along those lines. I'm very, very grateful for that. And I'm happy that, God was able to bring me out of that place of um I guess infurious rage and things along those lines because I'm very, very
Mm-hmm.
happy because without that, I wouldn't be in the position I am now to sit here and be able to tell people, maybe you shouldn't give this the time of day, or maybe, you took that a little out of proportion. I would probably be right there with them. And, I'm just very, very grateful for that. I was thinking about that earlier today.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you, and I'm sorry, we have another guest. Next week we'll make sure that we can get this person in on our studio. That's so good what you just shared, because like you were saying, being a hothead, it can kind of get you in trouble. And it sounds to me like you have now that you have now come into the peaceful stage of your life. And a lot of people, it take a long time to get there. Um, but you've entered that even at the age of 23. Learn how not to react to everything. Everything doesn't require a reaction. And so just knowing that helps you to help others. And from your lived experiences of what happened when you used to do stuff like that, the repercussions weren't great.
Not at all. Not at
Right?
all.
Okay. All right. So, and I am streaming from three different places tonight. Um, but the repercussions were not great. And so we're really, just grateful for what you just added to this, because a lot of young people do need to hear that. Here we have a 23-year-old who've already learned how to be peaceful in life, how not to react to everything in a bad way. So even as we were talking about, the Mississippi Six, um, a lot of people could have just flown off the handle and did a whole lot of other different things that, would not have been in good character or in great support for what had went on. But learning how to make situations work for you, good and bad, you know.
Amen.
So I'm grateful for that you just added. Um, and I'm grateful that we have a person who actually was trying to come in, Reese Weber. I want to thank him. He posted up a comment, but next week we'll be sure to see if we can add him into our studio. Catherine, you have something else you'd like to say tonight on what our mom was just sharing? Because it was something else in my heart, but I'm gonna move to that in a minute.
No, go ahead and share about what's on your heart.
Sure.
I'm just in awe about Amon right now. So let me enjoy.
She is basking in your presence.
I haven't seen you in a long time. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Well, I'm getting to say that I'm grateful too for our viewers tonight. Um, you know, I was just I'm something had truly been on my heart a lot to do. I'm gonna be sharing that process with you all down the line on my YouTube. I'm venturing into something new, and I cannot wait to do videos to show the process and how it really does work. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk about tonight was, y'all know I'm going back here, okay? Because of our event this Saturday, we will also be hopefully signing people up to join in on a financial literacy course. And we will be putting in place. And I say it is very important that people know and learn how to use their money and other people's money too. Okay. Okay. Financial literacy is very important. Okay, guys. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in because you really do need to know how to manage your finances, no matter how big or small they are. Okay. You need to take a course. You need to learn how to watch your credit scores because more and more people are being your IDs being duplicated by some. I'm not even going to say the AIs, but somewhere the systems are breaking down because I'm getting letters constantly about breaches in my credit report or breaches in a company that I'm involved in. And so, guys, when you get that stuff, pay attention to it and don't just throw the letter in the corner. Read through it, check, get the free credit monitoring. Because if the system got breached, somebody could be out buying cars and houses in your name, and you not even know it, putting on a light bill in your name or something. So always check your reports, and if you see stuff on there that you know don't belong to you, do your diligence, okay, and get those things removed and inquire about it. Don't just let it ride, because a pocket full of money with bad credit does you no good. Okay, that's always going to be my statement to you. No matter how much money you got, if your credit is bad, might as well don't have no money. Okay, because money can't buy you everything. You know that the word always talks about a great name. You need to have a great name. You need to have a good name. That means be good with your debts, be good with your bills, do what you got to do, and make sure that you get your credit right so that you can go on and do whatever else you got to do. Okay?
Amen.
All right. That's my tidbit. Amon and Catherine, we need some takeaway tonight because we're going to be leaving in about 10 minutes, we're going to end our broadcast.
I just want to say, to thy own self be true.
Amen to that. I guess I'll snowball off of what Mama Kathy just said. I think being true to your own self is very, very important. Um, to anybody that's watching my age, I understand like it's a thing to like want to fit in with the general public, but sometimes the general public isn't always right. Not saying that they're always wrong either, but God made us every single way differently. And we do have common interests and things along those lines, but that doesn't mean that you're exactly cut out to be just like everybody else. In fact, you're not supposed to be like everybody else. Everybody has something that's different inside of them. You could take two identical twins and they can have two different personalities. So even though their DNA is the same, their personality is different. That just goes to show like you have to stay true to yourself. I see a lot of people, um, not even just in my age group, just a lot of people in general who end up, following a wave or, trying to keep up with the crowd or what's hot right now, things along those lines. And they end up losing their self and the whole thing. And, to avoid that, you can always just stay true to yourself. That's something that I had to learn what get comfortable with over the years. I'm not going to always say
Mhm.
that I was always out here trying to stand out from the crowd, but you know, if you find yourself trying to fit in with the crowd and it don't always work out, maybe it's because you weren't made to fit in, you were made to stand out. Just keep that in mind. And just because you may not be doing what everybody else is doing, or you may not be hip to everything or necessarily interested in everything that everyone else is doing, doesn't mean that you have to fake it. Like I tell people all the time, my friends, things along those lines, we all have this different aspirations and things we want to do, and sometimes they say they lack the motivation, or they feel scared to take that first leap because they feel like what they're doing isn't necessarily going to appeal to general public. And if that's you, I just want to let you know that you don't have to fit in with the general public. you know whether you're making content or planning on doing something that's out of the way, just go ahead and take that leap, because there's literally an audience for everything. Not everybody's interested in the same thing. That's why, you have different genres of music. That just goes to show, like, everybody doesn't we don't all just listen to one genre of music, or else music wouldn't be special. So if music is special, and think about the people that make that music, think about everybody in those different genres. You don't think that they're the same, do you? So, stay true to yourself. And if you feel like you want to go somewhere in life, but you're sitting there, twiddling your fingers, not sure, or you're nervous, I just say take that step, because you never know where that one step might lead you. That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely. We want to thank you for that good takeaway. And thank you, Catherine, for starting that great takeaway. Because to thy own self be true. So remember that old saying that people used to tell you, fake it till you make it. No, we're going to say, don't fake it till you make it. Do you. Okay. So, all right. I want to thank you all both so much for joining tonight. And I'm gonna definitely figure out how to stream live from our YouTube with the help of our host tonight. I'm gonna
I'll
be
be
looking
waiting.
forward to that. Right. I'm gonna be calling you. Look at here. Do I push that button?
Yeah, I'm already knowing. I got
So
you.
all right. So I want to thank you tonight, my host, Armand Harvey, and my husband, also my co-host, also Catherine. I want to thank y'all tonight. And remember, guys, go on over there to our Facebook and our YouTube. There is a link. I think I put a link, but if not, remember um, hashtag, well, no, $ JOYMINTZ. I want you to go ahead and hit that Cash App, send some money for the children next week, the school supply program that we're doing. and the clothing drive and personal items for the homeless. So you never know when you're the next step, when you are one step away from being the person you're pointing the finger at on the corner. We're all just one step away from it. And it's only by the grace and gratitude and diligence and all those things that we talked about, perseverance tonight, that we are able to do these broadcasts and reach out and help in other communities. My name is Joyce Spencer Mintz, and I want to thank you again for joining us on Real Talk 100. And I'd love to see you next Friday. Yep, next Friday night, 7 p.m. Our broadcast, and the topic will be up next week. So we did a little free fall tonight. Grateful to everyone who showed up. Have a blessed and awesome night. See you next week. Follow us, like, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Good night, babe. Good night, Kat. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.